Okay, let's continue study React and Redux. At this point, we actually we have those do not schedule slot. They are actually represented by. Let's have a look at how they are represented. How we get those slot. Okay, so if you look at network, let me refresh the page. Okay, so where do we have those, right? Okay, like how we actually have four different one, right? So looks like look at this one, and this is our response. So basically, we send a request, and here we have four recurrence rule. So this is basically each one corresponding to the card here. Okay, four is in, I think it's a lot already, right? So you can add a new one, or you can remove like one of it, or edit one of it, right? So how do we do that? The backend API is this. So the backend API take the whole thing as a JSON blob to update it. Basically, pass me the array. Okay. So let's first get the Saga. Write the API for that. We can add this here. So for reference, let me move this page here. Okay. And let's add the. Okay, let's add the API first. Okay. So we want to add a method update recurrence. Okay. Basically, the body is basically the whole array. The array of this. If you have like a 4 element, you send it all. So if you remove one, 4 element becomes 3 element, and you send it to the backend. Okay. So basically, it's a post call. Okay. So here, let's define the parameter. So this is the API. Okay. So we actually want two things, right? One is the recurrence, which is the array. So we use recurring span. We already defined it. Let's take a look what it is. So basically, it's the duration and the recurrence rule. Okay, let's go back. So that's the first parameter. The second parameter is the time zone. Okay, time zone string. Okay, so we want to take the time zone. So we know when we it actually use the time zone to calculate the return, because it will return you at the booking link. Okay, the response. Okay, let's see. Here, what we want to do is we want to send a post, right? So let's copy this and modify it. So here this is a post body, and we want to do JSON stringify on it. So make it so we have time zone already. So let's make it a string. Send API. We do need the link. We do need the booking link ID. Okay, so it's actually in the past. Okay, so now we have all these are required. Okay, so we have the post body. Actually the URL. Let's see. The URL, we need to change it. If we give it something, let's just run and test it. So okay, this is the URL, right? So this is the URL after link. So we need to put it here. Okay, so this is the URL, and it returns a JSON, which is the booking link object. Okay, so now we have this in the API. Now we go to Saga. Okay, let's see, where is it's under the feature folder. Let's first deal with the Saga. Okay, now I think we don't need the Swaggle anymore. So let's look at the API. So this is called update, right? So we need to have a different name. So let me put it here. Fetch booking links. Okay, so let me put it this one, add booking link, patch booking link. Okay, let me just add it under here. Okay, let me copy something so we can use it for reference. So basically, a lot of the time you are copy pasting the boilerplate. Okay, So let's change this to, we want to use a different name, so let's maybe say change, let's call it change booking link references. So what do we have, because we want to have some parameter like this, right? So we want to define a class called, let's say, export update booking link recurrences. Okay, so let's copy paste those parameter. Okay, so those are the parameter we want. Okay, update booking link recurrences. Okay, let's go back to the Saga. So here update. So here let's first import it. So what do we have is booking link ID, recurrence, and time zone. Okay, so then we can call the API we just wrote, right? Update booking link recurrence. That's the one we just wrote, and the 3 parameter we can use it. Okay. Okay, the data basically is the link, so these are the most the same. So let's change this to be okay. So now the next thing we want to hook up. Okay. Here we need something here, right? So let's copy paste this one. We want to call it update booking link recurrences, and here is update booking link recurrences. So that's the parameter, right? Okay, in the Saga we want to update this, we call it change, right? Change booking link recurrences. So this is corresponding to this method. Okay, and this is update booking link recurrences. So now the action. Okay, so let's export action. We can copy all the way here. Okay, I think let's just call it I still prefer update. Okay, let's just call it update. So we have time zone, and we need one more parameter, I think. Let's copy here, right? This is the parameter, so put it here. So here we just call action dot update booking link recurrences, and here let's input the parameter booking link ID. Let's have 2 more. Okay, format a little bit. So recurrences, time zone. Okay, now we have finished the action. Now we need to hook up in the UI, right? I mean, that's why we did so much, right? Okay. So here we are in the recurrence card. Basically, this is corresponding in the UI. Like let me close this. So here the card, right? When you click delete, what do we do with it, right? We already have call here, so we want to call delete. Okay. So let's first add the one we just exposed in the action, right? This is the method. So this is the recurrent card. So we first need to add this here, and it will complain. We need to import it. So note you need to use the action, okay? And then the next thing is the parameter. You need to define this for the component, for the method. So let's change the comma, and this is for okay. Now we can use this function in our code in the component. Okay, now update booking link. Okay. So here now we need to call it. The most difficult thing is how we call it, right? So as I mentioned, we basically, when you call delete, we want to remove the ones that is in the middle. I mean, here when we get this, we have an index. So basically, so this is zeros, 1, 2nd, 3rd. So we have the index when we pass in. So here when we call this, okay, actually the code should be here. Okay, let me format this a little bit. Okay, Now here is where we do call, right? Update booking link recurrence. So now what do we need to do? We need to pass the parameter, right? So first, let's get the state. We want to have the state of the link, right? State booking link reducer and the link. So that's the link. If you look at this is the booking link. So it will have a recurrence rule. So that's what we want, and the ID is also what we want, right? So here, let's add the link as well here. Link undefined or booking link. Okay. Comma. So also we can use this link here in the parameter. Now here we can. Okay. Now here's what we want to do, right? So here the first parameter is link.id. That's the. Okay. Actually, let's because it might be undefined. I mean, in some cases, if it, in our case, actually, it's always defined, but the React still requests you to do that. Okay, so the second thing is the recurring span, right? So that's something we want to deal with. So first we have the recurrences, right? So that's the recurrences right now. The type is recurring span. Okay, let me define it as const first. Recurring span. Okay, so that's if we didn't change anything, we just pass it here, right? But we want to manipulate this, right? But the last parameter, let's finish it. What JavaScript? Let's get a current time zone, right? Get current time zone. How do we do that, right? We want something like yeah, like more like this, right? So is it this one? Let's see. So search our code base. We should have those. Just search for time zone. Let's see if we can find the. But we want the TSX file. So right now let's try to get our current browser's time zone, right? I'm trying to find some examples that give us the current time zone. It's a long shot to search for it. Okay, looks like this one should be fine. So let's just use this part, right? This is the current browser's time zone, right? We want to use, oh, actually we already have the link's time zone. Link already have a time zone. Let's just use that. Yeah, we should use that when we update. Okay, now it's a matter of how to update the recurrence. Because we are doing a delete, right? So we can do a filter. We want to, basically we want to JavaScript, we can search for it. Remove ith element from array, right? Because we know the index, we want to remove the ith element. So what do we do? Okay, so there's multiple ways to do it. Let's see, pop, that's the last one. Shift, you splice. Another one is use splice. So this give you the second element, spend the number of element to remove. Okay, so that we want to just remove ith element. I think this is giving a. How can I remove specific item? Okay, this one is. Okay, let's see. Remove the element. Remove the element from using the splice method. Index of the item to remove. Number of element to be removed. So that means we just need the index and just one, because we only want to remove one, right? So let's try that. So start, delete count. Okay, so we wanted the index, and then we only want to remove one. Does this give us, this should return as a copy of this? And okay, look at, let's try it. Okay, now our code is mostly done. Let's try this. Refresh, click, let's remove this one. Okay. Okay. Let's remove the Saturday one. It's easier. Saturday. Okay. Click. Huh. What happened? Something is wrong. Okay. Cannot assign to read-only property. So we did something wrong. Okay. Let's let's do it again. Okay. What happened in the code? I think it's let's try it out. Okay. If we have element, let's play with JavaScript. Okay. Let's say array equal 0, 1, 2. Okay. So array dot splice. Let's say let's move the middle one. Huh? That's not what we want. The splice, we want to remove 1, but this return, so something is weird. Remove the element from, let's remove Sunday, index 0, and the Monday. So either remove 2, right? This one remove 2. So this should give you, let's try the example here. Okay. Now my array is this 7 element, right? So let's try this my array dot splice. Let's try this example. Huh? So that's what it's being kept. Oh, but then my array is okay. Either return the return is what is being removed, but you actually wanted the left, right? Okay. So it's the opposite, right? So this return us what is being removed. That's only one element. So that's not what we want. So okay, so we basically want to let's clone this first. So that's the older one, right? So let's say here, let's first clone this. In JavaScript, you can just do this for cloning. I think that's how you do it. Then we do splice, remove it. Yeah, then okay, let's try it again. So this actually let's watch the API call what we send, right? So let's monitor the network call. Okay. Let's remove Sunday. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So Sunday is gone, right? So okay, the method patch. Oh, it's not a patch call. Did I change this? Okay, this should be do post. Okay. So it looks like we are almost there. So let's click here. Okay, here. Remove this. Good, right? So one more removed. So and in the payload you can see only 3 elements, right? Okay, now this one. Good. So we remove this, right? Cool. So now our code here is ready.